Greetings and welcome to the Pampering Myself podcast, an advocacy for self-care. We'll laugh, we'll cry, and most importantly, we'll learn that you can't pour from an empty cup. You'll hear stories, interviews, and conversations which will empower you in living your best life. Greetings, podcast listeners, and welcome to another episode of Pampering Myself podcast. Well, as COVID-19 continues to rise, unemployment continues to go up, the underemployed, racial divide in our country, and the election, just to mention a few of these disparities, stress and anxiety have hit an all-time high. Now we're approaching the holiday season where people will become even more stressful. This year, more than usual. Personally, I was stressing over the traditional Thanksgiving dinner, which I've hosted for the past 28 years. And even though I've cut back over the years and warned my family it was going to come a time that I needed to pass the torch, to be honest, COVID-19 helped me make that decision. On one hand, I felt like I was letting my family down. It would literally be the end of a long-standing tradition. But what's more important? Me letting them down by not preparing dinner or taking the risk and the chance of someone getting sick? Because the scientists say that this winter, while we're all locked inside the homes, with the heat circulating and people coming in from the outside of your own bubble, that you run the risk of spreading the disease. And that weighed heavy on my mind for the past 3-4 weeks. But I had to make a decision for the health of not only my household, but for theirs. And they understood. So you see, people are stressing over a lot of things, no matter how big or how small or insignificant it seems to one person, it may be real to another. So while I was coping with this whole Thanksgiving dinner thing, I ran across this article titled Healthline. Actually, the article was titled 10 Things That You Can Do If You Felt Overwhelmed, and I found it on healthline.com. So I'm always intrigued by anything related to self-care, health, healing. So naturally, I read the article. And of course, there was nothing new. Everything in it, the experts had always said before. But sometimes it's when you hear something differently or you have that aha moment. And that's what it was for me. That aha moment. So I like to share some of the things in this article. The article talked about mindfulness as a means of dealing with and being overwhelmed. It's stressful. It's a process of being in the moment. A good example would be me sitting on my patio during the summer months. I like to stare out at the trees, how the clouds form, just taking in nature. And I've learned over time how to lose myself in all of what's going on day to day, month after month, etc., and be in the moment. So I'm able to take the focus off of me and learn how to relax, even if it's just for 10 or 15 minutes a day. Now, of course, we're entering into the winter months. So I found a different place to be able to do the same thing, and that's sitting in my family room with the fireplace going. That helps me clear my mind. I find clarity, and I'm able to be more creative and learn that those small molehills, or I should say those what I think is a big mountain, may become small molehills. And I heard people say I don't have time to sit and meditate, or they don't know how to focus. Their mind keep racing. And I understand that because you heard me say over time I learned how to do that. So my only suggestion would be to practice, practice, practice. But I'm not going to make this podcast long this time because it's not necessary. These are 4 or 5 tips I like to share that I read from this article that will hopefully help you be able to relax more. So the first tip is to learn how to do a body scan. And they call this doing a body scan meditation. According to, again, all of these are according to experts. This is a licensed clinical psychologist made the suggestion that you do a body scan. And you can practice this exercise virtually anywhere. You find a comfortable place, sit with both feet on the floor. I like to sit with my feet propped up. Bring awareness to your body starting at your feet. Close your eyes and see how your feet feel. Just think about the feet and start moving up from the bottom of your feet to the top of your head. And just think of each body part and how it's feeling. And if it's stressed out, try to move and relieve the stress or the pain. And it works sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't, because nothing is for everyone, or the pain or anxiety that you're feeling may be even a little deeper. So it's not a 100% sure remedy. The second thing is to strip down your notifications. Now, back in the day, we didn't have all those cell phones, the pings, the dings, the people calling, the text messages, all the notifications that we have on our phones. And part of the problem with people sleeping is because of their phones, because we have to feel the need to stay tuned in to everything by our phones. And that's what we use. So if you put those phones down and turn those notifications off, only when absolutely necessary, between social media, news alerts, and work emails, of course we're going to be stressed. So try that. Try that a couple of hours a day, or a full day, or not as often. And I think on the cell phones now, they track your time, like how many hours you spent this week versus the next week versus the next week, and try to minimize that to a realistic number, and you'll be surprised. The next step was step away. This may be hard, but I'm a witness that works. So taking a walk or a long bath or a shower is something that'll help you alleviate that feeling of being overwhelmed. And once again, here's a quote from the experts, or here is something that one of the experts said in this article. There are clear links between sunshine, nature, and mood. Even a 5-minute walk around the block can help you return to your task more refreshed and focused. And I can witness that, because a lot of times, especially with me now, COVID has put me in a position where I want to be able to learn some new software. So I'm dealing with a software now that I've never used before, and it is a little difficult. So sometimes when I can't get it and I walk away from it, whether I come back in an hour or the next day, it's like, wow, I spent all that time trying to figure it out. It was really that simple, because you can overthink things or not completely understand something because you're missing a little piece. But if you step away, then you'll be surprised how that can help. The next tip is create your own method for self-soothing. And this article talks about, or this tip talks about, finding your own things that soothes you. For example, using your 5 senses. Let's start with vision. So vision, they're suggesting that you look for something that you enjoy looking at. This can be a piece of artwork. I know in my office, when I was in the office, I always put a picture in front of my desk that was of trees, because again, I enjoy nature. So I had a picture of just a lot of trees going up into the sunlight. And in moments of feeling overwhelmed or stressed, I would often stare at that picture. And it would take me there as opposed to being able to sit on my patio because I can't, or sitting in front of my fireplace, I couldn't. But being able to see those trees in my work environment helped alleviate a lot of times the stress. So it could also be something as simple as that, or something that would put a smile on your face if it was a picture that you wanted to look at, or anything, a thought maybe, something that would put a smile on your face and help you out. The second one that they said is hearing, and that's what sounds pleasant to the ears, something that can soothe you, such as a waterfall. So I have a waterfall in my home, and that helps me at times when I'm having the fireplace on. I turn the waterfalls on, so it can be just the sound of the waterfalls. Meditating music, and here's a good one: oldies but goodies. For me, I enjoy the 70s. So Soul Town radio station I like to listen to, and it helps me get into a good move or a good feeling. And that helps me out a lot. So maybe it might be music for you as well. The next sense would be smell. Do something or a favorite fragrance like a candle. Now, I love candles, some more than others. And so when I find a candle that is, I enjoy the scent, then I'll light that up while I'm cleaning the house. And sometimes that combination of cleaning the house and the 70s music can help me forget the fact that I'm doing a chore that I'm not particularly fond of. And that makes it more enjoyable for me and easier, and time will go by. And before you know it, I'm through. The house is cleaned. I'm more relaxed because the house is clean. And I had a good time doing it. And it's just me, my candles, my music. I may have the fireplace on, whatever works. Create your own method of self-soothing. Another one is your taste. Now, this one might get you in trouble because I know it has me. What's your favorite taste? What reminds you of a happy memory, rather? And for me, that's butter pecan ice cream. Twinkling my feet eating some butter pecan ice cream. So I try to limit that because that might create some problems. And the final sense is the sense of touch. Do you have a favorite blanket or a chair? Take a warm bath, put on a favorite sweater, some pajamas, or whatever it is when you want to lounge around the house or when you want to feel comfortable. Then those are things that you can do to help you relax. And finally, reach out. Don't underestimate the power of a family member, a friend, or someone that you can turn to, a confidant, someone that will listen and not judge. And that's the most important thing. Someone that you can find to maybe do an activity with. Just get out of the environment, the stressful environment that you might be in. So these are tools that you want to be able to use when you're trying to deal with stress and anxiety. So I'm just going to briefly recap those again. You want to do a body scan, meditation body scan, where you sit and relax. You want to shut off those phones, strip down your notifications so that you don't overexert yourself on social media, news alerts, especially during this time with all of this information about the election. The election will be over with by the time in the next few days. And regardless of which way it goes, we'll have to deal with it. And so you'll have to deal with it in a way that it benefits you. Then again, step away. Step away, take a walk, do something that will help you clear your mind or step away from the situation so that you don't continue to stress over it and over it again and again. And finally, create your own method of smoothing. Find something that will help all five senses: your vision, your hearing, your smell, your taste, your touch. Something that will please you, put a smile on your face, and keep you in a positive, upbeat mode. And if all fails, reach out to family, friends, do an activity, develop your own tools for dealing with stress and anxiety. If we listen to the experts, the worst is yet to come. And we all have to have an arsenal of where we draw from in times of stress and anxiety, because it is said it is coming. Only thing I can offer at this point is prayer, because we know prayer works. And when all else fails, that's all we have to fall back on. So that really should be at the top, the middle, and the end of every day in order to be able to help you get through any of the hard times. Because the holidays are coming, and those who have lost loved ones or any other issues that we have dealt with regarding COVID-19, regarding the election, regarding the racial divide in this country is going to continue. So we want to be able to live through this and get through this the best way we can, whether it's for ourselves, our family, our friends, because we haven't seen the worst of it yet. So I hope this information has helped you once again. And even though when I read this article, it was nothing new, and it may be nothing new to you, maybe it's something that was written in the article, something I said, or if you're just hearing this for the first time, share the information with others, and hopefully we can all come out of this better on the end. And once again, have a blessed and safe day, and don't forget to pamper yourself. Thank you.